I wanted to pivot though a little bit to talk about U.S. foreign policy because it's something that I know you have a lot of thoughts on. And growing up, what I love about the book is also your own personal identity straddling your Salvadoran and your American identity being U.S. born, but in the mission and like it's so good. Obviously, everyone needs to read it. We'll put a link in the description. But thoughts on the Biden administration thus far? We talked last week about how they are still denying asylum. They're making everyone use their new app. Speaking of digital strategies, but just broadly, like we're not really seeing. I mean, this is my opinion that we're not really seeing a new push for something different in terms of how the U.S. relates to Central America, specifically Kamala Harris's "Do Not Come" comments. I mean, there's a couple years old, but like that was fun. Just do not come. But anyway, what do you make of this? It's probably the most overlap that this administration has with the previous administration, although
Well, I
they are
mean,
not as openly xenophobic.
yeah, I mean, when you look at whether it's U.S. immigration policy or the U.S. foreign policy that creates that immigration, there's a
Right.
consistency between Republicans and Democratic administrations, regardless of who's president. You could have Jesus or Buddha in the presidency. You're still going to have children being caged, mothers being separated from their children, barbed wire, militarized border, failed U.S. policy in the Americas, which thank Marx, thank Lenin, thank your left icon of choice in the Americas, Fidel, Che. But Latin America has turned away again from the United States the clutches of U.S. foreign policy. The U.S. can no longer go in and tell Latin America what to do just like it used to with death squads and militaries and everything. It has to struggle to get what it wants. And in some cases, it's not getting what it wants because there's an option in China now. in Latin America now, it's China.
I was
The
just going to mention.
biggest trade partners of Brazil, for example, is China. And people are negotiating left and right with China because China's not coming in and telling them what to do like the US always has.
Totally. I mean, well, one thing that happened this week was the election in Guatemala of Bernardo Arevalo, who
Mhm.
is from the Semilla party, which is like a progressive party. No one thought he would win. And the first thing he says is like, first of all, openly denounced President of Nicaragua, Daniel Ortega, for like basically, his clutches on power and the human rights abuses and all that, which is bold. And then also saying we're going to strengthen our partnership with China. And all this is kind of an FU to the United States, who, again, it's like all they have is like, hey, would you like more guns? Would you like more torture training techniques? And they're like, no, we kind of just want a trade partner, like a fair trade partner.
So I know you like to have your listeners be ahead of the game. I mean, I think that's why a lot of us go and listen to your show. And so I'm going to give you a heads up to your listeners about what to look for in U.S. Latin America policy, for example. There's this thing called lawfare. It used
Yeah.
to be they'd send the military, right? Now they're sending lawyers to take down governments. Like you look at the way all these different governments have been brought down by legal stuff like they did to Lula in Brazil. They imprisoned him.
Right.
They
The
they they
parliamentary coup.
you see a lot of this, and I think the Biden administration is continuing this strategy developed by some of the ghoulish ideologues of the Obama administration, Department of Drug Enforcement Agency and Justice Department.
Right.
So these are people that I've come to know a little bit about because they were trying to mess with me back in the day when I was reporting on them.
Roberto Lovato, not only an author of Unforgetting, but a man bragging about his CIA file and his FBI files.
Yeah, you can look in the LA Times; it's in there, so it's public. So
Everybody, just I listened to the book. Full disclosure, you narrated your own book. It's beautiful. It was great. It's so well written. Unforgetting. Everybody, go get it. Think of the river. Think of the river between Hades or something. I will go back and remember what that exactly was. But Roberto, please come back. I thank you for this. Everybody listen and read the book. Go get where can people get the book?
can I say one last thing before that? The book covers heavy topics,
Yeah.
war and all that stuff. But that's all just the dark velvet background against which the really what the book's really about, which is about the tenderness that we need to preserve, and about the will to keep struggling in a more revolutionary way. And there's a very hopeful core to the book, as you know. And so I want to make sure people come away with that, because I'm been through some things, but I'm still very hopeful and committed as I've ever been. So you can find the book anywhere books are sold. If you're in San Francisco, go to Medicine for Nightmares Books, or call them up. I like to support that bookstore because they're friends of
Medicine for
mine.
Nightmares. I love it.
Yeah.
I don't think I know that bookstore. How? Yeah, no, it is great. And look, the things that he documents and having hope and faith for real social change after seeing the things that you've seen, that takes a lot. That takes a lot of courage and a lot of honestly, like aguante. What's going on, Frantifa? If you haven't already, subscribe to this channel right now. Hit that button. And also, you can become a patron and support the show every single week. Get access to bonus episodes and exclusive merchandise. Patreon.com/bitchuation room. Do it.